This book, The Way of the Wolf, was written in 1961 by Martin Bell. And in it he writes about one of the parables we're looking at today, the wheat and the tares. And he says this: "The kingdom of heaven, Lord, is like so many things, yet like nothing at all that I have ever known. Perhaps my poor head will never even grasp a single strand from your complex multiplicity of images. But the story about the wheat and the tares will always be the hardest of all for me to understand, because at the end, the man burns the tares. And if the tares represent people, Lord, I'll never understand that. Never." He has a great point. If God's judgment is about punishing people for an eternity, that just doesn't size up with everything else. So he has an answer in the rest of that essay. He says, well, maybe those weeds that are sown, like the bad fish in the net in the other parable, are inside each of us. And if that's the case, then burning out the bad within us to make us better, bring it on. God, gather your people and throw out the bad and bring in the good in each and every one of us. I think that fits. That fits with a Jesus who proclaimed that this reign of God, this kingdom of God is here and now. Well, that means it's living within you. And then these ideas that you let the weeds grow up until they're full enough to know that they're bad and not the good wheat, is a message of hope. It's a word of hope that you and I might bring up a net full of fish, and some are bad and some are good, but we don't have to keep the bad. That we have time for the weeds to grow up, to be found, so that they can be taken out of the garden and the good can be harvested. The kingdom is here and now, and yet there's time to live it out, to produce the fruit of this kingdom, which comes in time when God harvests the good from us, and we all celebrate our relationship together in this one reign of God.